Hi, my name's Luke, and I am back with one more harmonica tutorial for you. This time I want to talk about the 12-bar blues form. This is an essential, fundamental form that you have to know as a harmonica player. Harmonica players get a bad rap so many times. If you go into a club and you try and sit in with a band and you get funny looks, that's because too many harmonica players don't know what they're doing and they're not playing the appropriate thing at the right time, or they're not playing in the right key sometimes. But the 12-bar form is one of these fundamental forms that we simply have to know inside and out, okay, if you're going to play in the blues idiom. So I have written here a chart of the 12-bar blues form so that we can get into it. Okay, so as you can see here, we have, these are my bars, okay? So each one of these is 4 beats long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. through all 12 bars. And when we finish the 12th bar, we come back around to the top, okay? In fact, that's why these last 2 bars of the tune are called the turnaround, because they're going to bring us back to the top of the tune again. Okay, so when people talk about the turnaround, they're talking about the last 2 bars of the form. Okay, but let's start at the beginning. So we're starting on the 1 chord. If we're playing cross harp on a C harp, we are playing in the key of G. And so if we do a 2 draw, that's going to be our root, which is referred to as 1 on this chart. And if we draw on 2, 3, and 4 simultaneously, that's kind of playing the 1 chord. So I could go like, okay, and that's going to be functioning sort of as the 1 chord. We're going to do that for 4 bars, okay? As you can see in bar 2, there's the option of going to the 4, and of course there's variations of this, but this is the most basic form. Then you see in bars number 5 and bar number 6, you're going to go to the 4 chord. If we count up 4 notes from G, we've got G, A, B, C, right? So that you can see that C7 is the 4 chord. When we're playing in cross harp, we achieve the 4 chord by blowing. That's because it's a C harp, right? So it's a C7 chord. And specifically, 1, 2, and 3, blowing on them, that is the 4 chord. Again, so are 4 and 5 and 6 blowing. So if you blow, you are basically functioning in the 4 chord. Then in bars 7 and 8, we're back to the 1 chord again. Okay? Finally, in bar 9, we go to the 5 chord, which is a D. So D, obviously 5 is 1 more than 4, so D is 1 note higher than C. So if C is the 1 blow, then D is the 1 draw. Okay? Or likewise, if we're thinking about C as the 4 blow, then D is the 4 draw. Okay? And then back to the 4 chord, and then to the 1 chord. Now, for our purposes right here, I'm just going to stay on the 1 chord, but very commonly you're going to hear the harmony go to the 5 chord, and a turnaround lick, you might get something like this. Okay? And that's basically a way to start on the 1 chord and sort of lead up to the 5 chord. I'm on the 4 draw now, which is D7. And I slid down to the 1 draw, blew out on it, and sucked back in on it. So I'm on a 1 draw there. So again, the 4 draw and the 1 draw are both accomplishing a D7 sort of tonality, which is like our 5 chord, okay? So this is, I know I'm going a little bit fast, but you can, if you're having trouble keeping up, you can rewind the video. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to put my metronome on here. This is that same Boss DB30 metronome. I've got it on swung 8s here because that's the most common feel, is like a shuffle feel in the blues. And I've got it on 100 beats a minute, 4 beats per measure, just so that we can play at the same time. Okay, and so what I want to try doing is we're going to play a rhythm where we just play on 1 and on the and of 2. So if we have like this, like 1 and 2, a 3, a 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, that's a really common sort of basic comping pattern in the blues. So we're going to do that, and we're going to start it. We're going to do the 2 draw for the first 4 bars. We're going to do the 1 blow for the next 2 bars. We're going to do the 2 draw again for bars 7 and 8. And then on bar 9, we're going to do the 1 draw, 10, the 1 blow, and then we're just going to do the 2 draw again for the last 2. Okay? So let's try that. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Back to the top. Okay, and then we could go through the song form again if we wanted to. I'm not going to go through it again right now. I do want to go through it again. This time, let's start, instead of on the 2 draw, let's start on the 3 blow. And then when we go to the 4 chord, let's go to the 4 blow. Okay, C7 is going to be the 4 blow on a C harp. And then when we go to the 5 chord, we're going to do the 4 draw. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be going to hole number 4 instead of hole number 1 when we're going to the 4 chord and to the 5 chord. So let's try that same thing again. This time on the starting on the 3 blow. Sorry. Okay, so we have played through 2 different ways that you can kind of get through, and you can do that. You could do that all day behind a band, you know. I could do that kind of thing like and then blow, or up on the 4. Then up to the 4 draw. Blowing and then sucking. So it's good to start getting that form in your ear when you're listening to the blues. If you haven't in the past been aware of the form, start to be aware of the form, okay? In those first 4 bars of the 1 chord, we're going to get our first line like, I got a sweet baby, oh, what she does for me. We're on the 1 chord. Now we're going to typically we're going to have a repetition lyrically of the same line when we go to the 4 chord. I got a sweet baby, what she does for me. Now we're back to the 1 chord in bars 5 and 6, or rather in bars 7 and 8. And then lyrically in bar 9, when we go to the 5 chord, that's when the lyric's going to change. Oh, every time I come home, 5 chord. Then we go to the 4 chord. She always makes me tea. And we have a turnaround, and then we're back to the top of the tune again. Okay, so that's a really important good thing, and since you're starting to learn the blues scale and starting to be able to get around, starting to get this form in your ears is going to help you to know how to play the right things at the right time, and we're going to talk more about this in future videos. But hopefully, if you haven't had exposure to the 12-bar blues form before, this is helpful to you. If it's confusing at all, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching.